Hello everyone, and welcome to JustDabney Voice Notes, where I go over random topics, and some of the topics are ones that you want me to talk about. So I had a poll on Instagram asking, what are the various topics you all wanted me to talk about, and the topic of meditation was voted number one. So I'm actually surprised by that because I don't consider myself an expert. I just talk about meditation, what works for me, and how I've, been able to reach certain states through meditation. I think at this point I'm pretty good at meditation, although we can always improve, right? So I'm always experimenting with certain tools, with certain methods. Yeah, and so today I'm just going to be going over what works for me and what I've experienced or experimented with, and also some tips that you can use when starting off. So this is very much my version of a beginner's guide, but it can get more in depth in this. And so if you have any specific topics about meditation, definitely let me know. But today I'm going to be talking about how I meditate with a purpose. So not just the typical, get into a lotus position and try to clear your mind. That's what you do early on to get used to meditation, but really, you can do so much more with meditation. So there's various purposes for meditation, and so you can use those purposes to help guide you and sort of set the tone in how you meditate. And so just to give a little background, so I've actually been meditating since I was a kid, but I have always gravitated towards the occult sciences, towards understanding sort of the metaphysical world. So yeah, that's how I got into meditation. I would just practice like the lotus position and stuff like that. And then as I got into sort of middle and high school, I was more interested in understanding metaphysical sciences, understanding, more spiritual themes. And then when I got into college, I basically combined what I learned about the metaphysical world, the spiritual world, the things that we can't see, and combined that with meditation. And so I really started meditating with a purpose once I reached college. But I'll say it's very important to get down the technique first before you actually meditate with a purpose, because if you're as over analytical, or if you're as overthinking as me, then you need everything to be perfect for you in order for you to trust the messages that you're receiving, in order to trust the guidance you're receiving, in order to trust the process. You need to be sure that there's no other voices within you that are coming through, whether that's your ego or just, maybe something that happened that day you just can't stop thinking about. And so I really found it helpful by the fact that I had experience doing basic meditation. And if you're having an issue with, which let's be honest, so I'm an only child. I spent a lot of time alone, sitting with myself, being still. So meditation was really not that difficult for me. But what I realized as I got older is, a lot of people have expressed to me how difficult it is just to like sit still and be quiet and take in the sounds without having any judgment of those sounds. And so that can be pretty difficult for people. Even I noticed people just don't like silence for some reason. They think it's awkward. They think something's wrong if somebody's being silent. It's kind of interesting. But what I would recommend before you do anything with meditating with a purpose, and or I should say with a purpose beyond just being quiet and being still and calm, if you really want to get anything more out of meditation, definitely get the basic thing down, which is really just learning how to move through the mental clutter that you might have from that day. And it's not like you have to be, everything has to be perfect before you go into meditation. It's really just helping you to practice so that, let's say you had a busy day and you just want to meditate on the spot. the fact that you've done it before and you've got the practice down, it'll be so easy for you at that point to get into that meditative state, versus if you had not practiced meditation and stillness. If you hadn't practiced it, it would take forever for you to get into a state where you're allowed to receive those messages. And so I highly recommend at least 5 minutes a day. Practice meditation, practice removing the clutter from your mind so that you can focus on what you need to focus on, which is your purpose, why you're here on this earth. Maybe if you want to manifest or something like that. So just make sure, you practice. That's all I'm saying. And so the types of reasons why you would want to meditate with a purpose is for spiritual awakening, raising your awareness, raising your vibration to a higher state of consciousness. Maybe you want answers. Maybe you want answers from God, from, deity, from your ancestors, from, whatever spirit guides you communicate or want to connect with. Maybe you want to visit another dimension. Maybe you want to travel, astral travel. So you don't always have to do that in your dream state. You can actually travel during meditation. You can actually travel to the past. Like I've done this before. You can visit a past life. You can do what they call visit the Akashic Records, or open the Akashic Records. Whether you visit a past life of yours or of someone else's, which I don't recommend, but I guess people do that. Or you can, see the future as, psychics do. And so, yeah, you can meditate for that reason. You can meditate for manifestation or enhancing an aspect of your life. And it's very popular for some reason. Everybody wants to manifest money, love, just a better life. And, you can do that. Or I'll say one of the ways you can do that, because manifestation, the difference between just praying and manifestation is the fact that in order to manifest, you need to put action behind it. You're not going to be like meditating for money only and expecting it to come in. You're going to actually be putting in work in your everyday life or doing something to call in that money. Maybe that start a business, and then you raising your vibration to the frequency to receive that money is going to help that money flow into you with ease and hopefully with harm to none. So make sure when you're manifesting, you're very specific. And so, yeah, you can manifest. You can meditate with the purpose of manifesting. You can also meditate to improve your health. Of course, meditation is linked to reduce stress, and there's a lot we don't understand about the effects of stress on our bodies. I've had health issues that were unexplained, but doctors just contributed to it being a stress, but nobody had any studies to look at this. There was no extensive research on it, and there's just a lot we don't understand. I could say even with animals, we don't understand certain stress responses and stuff like that, like why it occurs. It just does. And so meditation obviously can improve by reducing your stress, which is very necessary in this very chaotic world we live in. And then finally, you can, what I like to call metaphysical powers. You can improve your metaphysical powers. I like to do this a lot. So if you want to improve your clairvoyance, any of the clairs, so you can be clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, any of those, or there's others. But if you want to improve your abilities in that realm, you can use manifestation. You can use it for energy activation. So I typically do this through mudras and meditation, both purposeful mudras as well as spontaneous mudras. Sometimes I just let the meditation guide my hands and what movements they make. And often when I do that, I actually feel energy in my hands. I mean, our hands are an energy center. They can also be used in healing practices through just simple touch. It if you believe in that. If you don't, it's probably not going to work for you. But, those of us that do subscribe to that, definitely we can use our hands in healing and activating certain energies and mudras in particular. And maybe I'll go into this in the future, but there's actual experts online about this. But you can use them to heal certain parts of your body if you're having back issues with your feet or anything, or you're having energy issue, if you're not feeling energetic, you can use mudras. You can also use mudras for manifestation. So if you're manifesting abundance, you can meditate on that, but you can also incorporate a mudra for abundance, whether it's money, love, whatever. So another metaphysical power you can use in meditation is, if you're into psychic or mediumship, you can improve your powers that way. If you do altar work this goes back to receiving answers. If you want to receive answers from a particular deity or whatever, you worship in your religious practice, you can use meditation at your altar. If you have an altar dedicated to a certain element or a certain thing that you're manifesting, you can manifest or you can meditate at that altar and thereby, increase the outcome of that meditation. And then there's also, improving your connection with divination tools. If you're into that, if you use whether it's tarot cards, the pendulum, maybe you use bones, runes, things like that, you can improve your connection to those divination tools through meditation. And so those are the different purposes. And so the various forms of meditation, to be honest, you can meditate any place, anytime. It does not matter. I promise you. It's not just being in the lotus position. My favorite meditation is when I'm laying down because I'm more relaxed, and luckily I'm able to stay awake. I'm able to still be awake, but it just allows me to be more in a relaxed position and receive the messages that I need to receive. But you can also meditate while standing, running, walking. You can even meditate while writing. You can actually write out the messages that you receive. You can meditate while drawing, while doing music. I don't do music while meditating necessarily, but I do have a music instrument that I have in my hand during meditation. And so you can do that as well. And so there's a lot, that's like a short list, just to, try to keep this podcast as short as possible. But but the most important thing I would say is make sure you're breathing. Your deep breathing is absolutely necessary for you to get into a more relaxed state. It calms your mind. If you breathe in and make sure your diaphragm is going out at the same time that you're breathing in. You feel in and then you release slowly. If you do that, you will be amazed at how quickly you're able to reach a more calm state. And so I feel like that's necessary. I feel like it's not even a controversial or non-negotiable, or a negotiable thing. You have to be able to breathe properly, do deep breathing particularly, and making sure you're comfortable. Like I said, if laying down is better for you, then do that. Just think about it. If everybody had to do the lotus position in order to meditate, half the world wouldn't be able to meditate. A lot of people just can't get into that position. It's unfair. Why would something so powerful be only access to people that can only get into the lotus position? Which is interesting. I tell people this and they're so surprised you don't have to be in a lotus position. No, you can literally be doing anything that's going to be calming to you, can be a meditation for you as well. And so now we got that out the way. Just 3 things that you need to do before you actually get into this meditation, before you actually sit down or stand up or whatever you want to do to meditate. Thank you for making it this far in the podcast. But to listen to the rest, please go to Spotify or Anchor FM to listen to it for free. The link is below in the description box. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, and there will be more podcasts like this, as well as other types of content on this channel. So thank you. Bye.